Hello and welcome to Watch Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today, the one, the only, Ronnie Karam. Hey, Ronnie, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, baby?
You know, just it's Friday. We made it to the end of the week. So excited. And 1 week from today, our live shows are resuming in Cincinnati. We're doing Cincinnati, Minneapolis, and Toronto all next weekend, which is really wild when you think about it. So Cincinnati, we're going to be doing Summer House. And then Minneapolis, we're going to do Southern Charm. And in Toronto, we're doing a classic Real Housewives. Roni, Season 8, Episode 9. It's the famous Berkshires episode, December, Berkshires County. You know the episode. We're recapping it. That's going to be hilarious, and it's going to be wild. So looking forward to that. Go to watchforcrappens.com to get your tickets. And also be sure to join up on Patreon, patreon.com/watchforcrappens. You get access to Crappens on Demand where you can watch us, not just listen. Also, we have a weekly bonus episode, Traders Finale. I hope you watched last night. We're talking Traders Finale, finale this week. And we'll talk about the reunion next week. And of course, in case you missed the news, Apple has levied an Apple tax on their apps, which means that if you sign up for Patreon through the Patreon app that you got from the Apple Store, you're going to have to pay a surcharge. However, if you just sign up through Patreon by just going through your browser or just going to www.patreon.com/watchforcrappens, you don't have to pay that surcharge. So don't pay a surcharge that you don't have to. So go directly on your browser. If you are already a subscriber, this does not affect you. It's only if you are new and or thinking about joining. Even if you're thinking about it. Did you know that if you think about things, Apple will tax you? It's wild. But if you're new, just there. Yeah, honestly. So don't do it through the app. Do it through the browser. And that's
all right.
That's all
let's get on with this, shall we? Southern Charm. We're still on vacation, and Shep is still trying to convince us he's just a sweet little boy, a boy who wants a girl who won't say yes, a girl who doesn't understand the meaning of a megalodon necklace. Gosh!
I have to say, this, I think, was one of the funniest Southern Charm episodes that I can remember. Like, just in terms of the sheer number of times I laughed and cringed and was covering my face. It was just like the whole episode just had me cracking up. I'll always remember it. It was an ordeal. It was so cringy.
It was a lot. You had the hypocrisy of Shep, the hypocrisy of Craig bringing in an alcoholism storyline while he's fucking fall down drunk.
Yes.
Like, you're doing great over there, Craig. He's like, bro, I'm just trying not to be an alcoholic. I'm like, you're drunk. Can we have this conversation when you're not drunk?
Seriously. So let's dive right into it. So they are coming back from boat. They just got on this yacht, etc. And so now they're gonna get ready for dinner. I feel like this whole vacation always starts off with them just getting back off of a boat and going to dinner. So we're in the guy's suite, and Shep is laying on the bed, and Shep is like, "Gosh, Craig, are you out of the shower yet?" He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Well, you're gonna think I'm an idiot, but can I ask you a question?" And his leg is shake. Like, you would think that there is a live wire that has been attached to his calf, because that leg is like
girl, that leg is shaking so much you'd think it had nostrils. So Shep's like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy, Craig. It's crazy. I got this necklace for a girl. Will I look like a fool? Will I look like a tool? Will I look like Jarrell if I give it to her?" And then Craig's just like, "Why?" And he's like, "I'm going to see her tonight. She's coming to dinner." And Craig's like, "Oh God, the necklace isn't the weird thing. The dinner is. So she's coming to dinner. Give her the necklace. I mean, I think the decision's dinner. That's crazy. That's the crazy part. You don't have dinner with somebody that's not in love with you. Those are the rules of love."
Well, she's coming to dinner. Bravo. Do you have anything to say about that? gosh, I thought I'd get a love tss, not a sad tss. So then Craig's like, why is she coming to dinner? It was like a tss, no.
It's like it's running out of steam, like a tss.
Why is she coming to dinner? You slept on the beach last night because of her. I mean, Craig is going to be the one who's going to lecture Shep about doing things for someone who's clearly annoyed by their affections. I mean, come on, Craig. That's your whole relationship with Paige.
Yeah. And Shep's over it now. He's like, what? And also, Shep didn't sleep on the beach because of her. He slept on the beach because he's a fucking drunk. Okay?
Yeah.
Keep himself in line. That's why he slept on the beach.
He slept on the beach not because of love. It's because of demons. So Shep is like, gosh, I did sleep on that beach. And Craig's like, but you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that she doesn't like him. I mean, Shep's going to continue to get led on. So what's the point of having her at dinner? Because also, like, she's allowed to come to dinner. She's like, Shep invited her. He likes her. It's not going anywhere, but like, let her come to dinner. You know, it wouldn't be, her coming to dinner is not a bad thing if you're not a dick to her, Craig, which he winds up being.
Yeah, Craig is in full-on belligerent drunk Craig mode this whole episode, but it's funny because he's still got his waving judgy finger around. So it's like perfect Craig. It's like bloated-faced, red-faced Craig, you know, judging everybody while he's a walking fucking mess. You know, it's perfect.
Judgy eyes.
So, and also, Shep, just to say it again, Shep is not being led on by this girl. How is he being led on when she won't even show up anywhere or shoot with him?
Yeah.
He's not being led on. He's being told pretty clearly, and he's not listening.
She's trying to be polite because he keeps guilting her, and she's like, oh God, this guy brought all his friends down. Like, it would be so dick if I just ghost him and it's going to be documented on TV. So let me like say, I'll try to like say hi or whatever. I don't know. But I think Craig is really demonizing Sienna in a way that I think is actually like really obnoxious. So Craig's like, well, I'm not challenging if she's a good person or not. It's like, no, but we have a connection. This sort of connection that you honor by finding a megalodon tooth and putting it on a chain and wrapping it around her neck. So Craig's like, no, you're broken up. Not anymore. It's over.
So he's like, so what good is this dinner going to do? And he's like, it doesn't matter, Craig. It's happening. So, you know, Shep's like, you know, Craig gets it in his mind that someone's not right for one of his friends and he will not back down. And so he's like, you know, don't ask me to be rational at this moment. That's ridiculous. I'm a boy with a heart that's in love.
You know, I'll act like it doesn't bother me, but I mean, it does a little, but I can handle this. Big boys get shark teeth. So Craig is like, he's like, fine. It's like, I'll handle it. Okay. So Shep is like, he's like, Shep, does it bother you? And Shep's like, no, I like being around her. I love being around Sienna just as she loves me. She really loves me. Craig's like, well, how about this? We don't ignore the end result tonight. So however the fuck you end up tonight, if I'm looking for you again in the hotel at 4 a.m, can you listen to me and you don't fucking talk to her ever again?
Yeah, if this goes awry, then we're done with her. And he goes, spell awry. Which is really funny. I like that he's trying to neg Craig on his way out. I don't think you're allowed to neg people when you're carrying around a megalodon necklace to give to somebody. You fucking jackass.
I will say the megalodon necklace looked better than I thought it would, but it's still a megalodon necklace.
It's a
still
shark tooth necklace.
It's still like a beachcomber like tchotchke. So,
I got you a license plate that says your name to hang in your bedroom. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
So he's like, okay, gosh, I'm going to go walk with Sienna down to where we're eating, and then we're going to hang out, and we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. She will see that we are a fun group, and then she'll love me again. It'll happen, guys. It was like,
yeah. So the guys are like, he doesn't listen to us. He doesn't listen to us. Because Craig's like, when are you going to have an opinion on something, Austin? He's like, she's not going to listen to us anyway. Come on now. And then Rodrigo, just one of the guys, he's like, Jesus Christ.
I forgot he was even there. They just like it's like a jump cut to him, a jump scare. I was like, oh, Rodrigo was just sitting on the sofa right below this entire conversation. I'm like, guys. So Austin's like, is what Craig's saying to Shep true? I think yes. Is the way he's delivering it wrong? I think yes as well. I mean, Craig is just being a dick. It's insane right now. So now we go over to the girls' suite, and Whitney does something radical, which is that he shows up wearing all white, which I was like, I don't understand this. Like, is he going to a hospital? Like, why is he wearing black? Is he well?
Have we seen Whitney in linen before? It's weird. It's just so wrinkly for Whitney. But I like it. I mean, Whitney's a fun person to watch sink into alcoholism, I have to say. Because he's always kind of kept it together, but he is no longer keeping it together. Yeah, he just kind of wanders around the beach trolling for, young people, and then just joins in the slut-shame girls every once in a while, wasted, So,
when you see when you see an old wasp with like a bow tie on, sort of slouched over and slurring and murmuring, and you think to yourself, like, how did they get like that? It's happened. Whitney did it. Congratulations.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, they're going to sting me. Why is that wasp in a bow tie? Evolution's happening too quickly. So he goes to Madison's room and she's getting ready. He's like, you have never put on her.
So, tell me about this boat cruise this morning. What did I miss? Mother. And Matt's like, it was a massive, yeah, it was great. And Sally's like, yeah, it was a good day. I mean, Shep was just being sad over Sienna. Yeah, like a simp, like a beta simp. Whitney's like, I don't know what that means, but like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Well, he can't wrap his head around the fact that she's just not into him. That he doesn't, he can't understand that she's just not born for corn, okay? And like, could you imagine bringing all your fucking friends and coming here and then not getting laid? Simp.
He's like, hey, I want you to do the smoky eyes. Do the smoky eyes medicine. She's like, with these tits, I look like a whore. And he's like, it's not you, like you don't look like one anyway. Wow, Whitney. Every episode Whitney's in this season, he's disgusting. It's usually a couple, but it's pretty. He's batting pretty high this time.
Can you just put all your black back on? I'll see you soon, devil. I don't like it. There's a white clothing wearing Whitney. Go back to the black stuff.
Yeah.
So then we go to the boys' suite, and Craig's like, "Hey, Austin, do me a favor. If things get intense, just grab my arm."
So why are you so worked up about this, Craig? Jeez. Rodrigo's like, he's an empath.
Yeah. Craig goes, because I'm sensitive to justice and like the right and the wrong. He just wants justice. Austin's like, yeah, well, that sounds like JT, dude, which is kind of funny that he just dinged him for that. And Craig's like, what? But like, also, like, that doesn't mean that no one else in the world wants it. I want justice too. It's a fellow
JT saying he wants justice doesn't mean I can't also want justice. I'm a lawyer and a storyteller.
Tall justice, as we know, is way more acceptable than short justice.
So now at the beach dinner table, Shep comes, and he's like, "Hi, are you D'Amico? Talk to me about dinner. Looks like you've got everything under control. Wow, this dinner was supposed to be a coronation of our relationship. Oh, we're supposed to ride off into the sunset. Oh, but here I am, like entering enemy territory almost. I mean, where do I even stand? What position am I even in? It's so hard to express. In the words of Macbeth, thou art thouest, and sun is like flowerist. You haven't read Macbeth, have you? Good. Just roll with it. Keep it in, guys.
I feel like I'm in enemy territory. It's like the Viet Cong are all around me, and Ken Burns isn't here with a camera. Also, by the way, just want to say, I don't know if you can ride off into the sunset if you're on a little island. So that may be a problem with the plan all along. So now Sienna shows up and he's like, they hug and everything and sit down. How are you? How's it going? She's like, good, except for the sandstorm you've just whipped up with your foot right now. Could you just settle that thing down, please? Thank you very much.
I just have to say, Shep is this guy who set up everything, this D'Amico guy. Shep's like, wow, so you set up dinner? Great. Wow, that looks great. Oh, you set up a fire pit for my friends? Wow, you know how to light that? Do you have matches? Yeah, he knows how to fucking light it, Shep. He works there. Like, Shep's just like, you're local. Are you sure you understand how fires work? You need any help with that? Sit down. So
Yeah,
she
seriously.
still looks
By the way,
like
just
she
want to
smells of
say
fire.
sorry. I thought I was on mute and I just slurped the bottom of my smoothie and it made a disgusting straw slurping sound and I thought I had muted myself and I realized I did not hit mute. So sorry everyone who just had me slurping in their ears.
Well, that's good. It probably sounded like a fart, which is what it looks like Sienna just smelled. So he's like, how are you? And she's like, good, like kind of looking at the ground. And, he's like, oh, wow, I told you I got a gift. I'm going to give it to you. Do you want it? And she's like, I mean, I like gifts. Yeah, sure.
Good.
So he's like, really? Oh, here we go.
Well, gifts, that's like my love language. Okay, here we go. So Sienna's like, oh, okay. He's like, are you nervous? Are you weird? Look, so you see? She's like, no, I'm curious what this is. And she's like opening up this little romantically wrapped in tissue paper necklace. Like not even like in a nice little box. It's like,
It's in a Target bag.
it's like, and she's like, oh, it's a triangle. It's a megalodon tooth. Oh, it's
She's
a
like,
shark
wow.
necklace.
Sharks. And he's like, yeah, but it's like a prehistoric shark that was a lot bigger than all the other sharks. Huh. Oh, God. Imagine this old man trying to hit on a young woman and bragging that he brought a prehistoric tooth to her. It's just so on the nose,
This shark tooth is bigger than the other, like a normal shark tooth. So even though I can't afford that $10 million mansion around the bend, I can afford big shark teeth. She's like, oh, well, I'll wear it right now. So she puts it on. She
I'll
looks
wear it
good in
right
it
now because being in the jaws of a prehistoric shark sounds better than being in this situation right now. Just fucking put it on me. Do you have 50 more? Just fucking grind
Someone
me up and
called
turn me
the
into a
mag.
smoothie. Jesus.
Yeah. He's like, well, I mean, it really accentuates your wonderful chest. And she's like, you're so silly. Do you like how it looks? Because this is going to be the last time you see it on me, by the way. He's
Just
like,
what
"Yeah."
every woman wants to hear when she's already got the ick. But your tits are good.
So then he tries to fix her hair and she's like, no, don't touch the hair. And so he's like, oh, wow. She's like, is my hair blowing in the wind? Oh, gosh, yeah. God, I've never been more jealous of my hair than I am right now. The ability to just be blown away from the situation.
Even my hair is trying to escape. Well, whatever we have, whatever this is a connection, okay? And that's really rare in this world. It's been a whirlwind, a passion, a love, and I haven't even given you syphilis yet. I mean, that's why I invited you to Italy to meet my brother, my sister, my nieces, my mom, my dad, that weird cousin who built a crib in her house for an entire season. Gosh.
It's Mossy, and I've been standing here the whole time.
I got a baby inside of me, huh?
Gosh, yeah, it's a connection. I think someone has to tell Shep that just because you feel love and you feel a connection does not mean it's automatic for the other person. And the more you say it does not mean the more true it is. So she's like, and he's like, well, I actually, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like a death by 1,000 paper cuts, honestly. And she's like, yeah, but we weren't in a relationship. Well, but so what were those moments that we had? Like, what was that? Just an aberration or something? I mean, megalodon teeth don't grow on trees, so that has to mean something.
Yeah, and I have to point out that she keeps trying to talk and he won't let her talk, which is his normal state, where he just wants to like project all this love onto her and just have her keep nodding. And she's not. She keeps trying to say something and he won't let her. So finally she's like, look, we had fun and we were always having a good time, right? Am I right? And he's like, wow, that's really minimizing it in my mind. I mean, to me, spending 3 vacation weeks with a beauty queen who refuses to call me back is basically marriage. Now you better learn to make some toast and eggs the way that I like them. It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Meanwhile, up on the balconies of the hotel, Madison and Taylor are talking, and they're just looking at the view. And Taylor's news is that she napped, and Madison's news is that she should have napped. And Taylor's like,
"Are you still napping right now?" "No, I'm awake. I can't tell the difference. Is there somebody you can give me a sign? Can you move your face in some way? You look like you're in a coma." "No, it's just how I am." "All right, well, let's try and shoot this scene anyway. Okay, time speaking."
"Okay, well, I hung out with Whitney for a while. He wore white. It was strange." "How was Whitney?" "Well, he's Whitney. He's having a blast. You know him." It's like, oh, I wonder if Sienna's going to show up or not. "But if not, Shep's going to cry. I mean, have you ever seen him so emotional?" And Taylor's like, no, I didn't bring out that side of him.
The only time I ever saw him this emotional was when I stepped on an egg in that egg game at that Frank Lloyd Wright house. It's like, no, not that kind of emotional. Then no, I think he's getting a taste of his own medicine. You know, like, it's not a good feeling, is it?
Like, it tastes bad. So then Leva FaceTimes in. She goes, "Hey, I miss you guys. What did I miss? I'm dying to get to know what's going on. What's everyone?"
What is she even doing? Why even bother? Hang up. Who even answers Leva's calls at this point? Leva, you don't do anything. You're not even showing up to work yet again. Just hang up the phone. I don't care what Leva thinks.
I have to say, I do not have, like, it's so amusing to me how much, like, you are so, like, angered by Leva.
She does nothing.
To me, Leva's
She
like,
does
whatever.
nothing.
She's like anyone else.
She shows up on phone calls. She does nothing on this show. She's just like checked out and doesn't do anything. And she just keeps getting a check, you know? It's like how you always bring up that person in a group project who doesn't do anything and then still wants to get the grade at the end. That's how I feel Leva is.
Oh, okay.
I'm mad. I have group project anger.
Well, she's called in today, but we can skip the scene.
No, we don't have to skip it.
Because
oh my God, it's not real. It's just, I think she's annoying. But so she's like, yeah, so I met Shep's girlfriend because remember at the dog party, she like winked at me and she was like, you know, girl, I'm here for a good time and not a long time. They're like, oh my God.
She's like, well, I miss you guys. Yeah. And so Taylor's like, well, Sienna's here, and that's been like a whole debacle. And Leva's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, they haven't stayed together one night. She hasn't stayed the night with him. He hasn't stayed with her. Like, don't you think that's weird? Yeah, it's very bizarre.
And she's like, guys turn 40, and then one day they meet a girl that's like in their 20s, and they're way faster, smarter, and way better at the game. And then that girl just like schools them, and then that's when they finally feel 40. She's just not that into them.
Yeah. Which is pretty true. And so then speaking of which, we then go back to Sienna and Shep, and Shep is like, we're in love. Will you admit that? And she's like, I don't know if we're in love. I'm not even sure we're in like. He's like, no, you felt love. I know you felt love because I said I loved you. So that meant that you loved me. And that's what we talked about. I mean, tell me that. Like, did we love? Like, is there an event that occurred that was like, oh shit, like we were taking on top of a roller coaster and on a journey? It's like, yeah, if you were going up on the roller coaster's only going one direction after you go up. And it's not going farther up.
Yeah, it's just down. And then it was derailed. And you were that idiot who wasn't even wearing a seatbelt and then wondered why he got flung off the roller.
I know, enjoy your severed arm.
And Sienna's like, but we weren't even in a relationship. And I completely disagree with that assessment. I can't agree to disagree. And she's like, but we didn't have a label on it. He's like, I hate labels. They're millennial. Oh my God.
Like, Shep, like, get the hint, Shep. Oh my God, I wanted to shake my laptop.
He's like, here's what I tell labels. Get off my lawn.
She's like, I feel a little sick. Oh gosh, did you eat the megalodon tooth? No, I'm still wearing it. Well, I had my heart broken about 3 or 4 times, but this might be the first time that I've tried to fight for something when it appeared as that they didn't want it. I feel like Ophelia in Hamlet, unrequited love, or is that Macbeth? All I know is all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely megalodon teeth.
Well, you feel like Ophelia. There's the ocean. Take a walk. So he's like, I'm just hurt. I got her a megalodon. She's like, oh my God, I hate this guy. You're a megalodon. Leave this woman alone. Leave her alone. You're a stalker and a creep. Just go home.
So now the entire cast comes down to dinner while Shep and Sienna are sitting there, which is already so awkward. Why would Shep have this conversation with Sienna right in like the public space where the dinner is?
Because he's trying to pressure her into acting like his girlfriend. I mean, he thinks, okay, if I do this and then all my friends come, surely she's going to fake it being my girlfriend, right? No, she's not. And good for fucking her. So they come and they see him like trying to convince her. He's like, but we were together for a month. Come on, Sienna. I gave you a megalodon necklace. Do you want to watch? Hey, you want to wear my shoes? They were expensive. Come on.
And Austin just sees it and is like, Jesus Christ. And Matt's like, oh. And they're all like, why are you doing this? And why are you doing it right here? You know? Yeah. So Shep is like, oh gosh, my friends are all here. Let's have fun. You'll see I'm worth dating. Come on.
Yep. So now everybody comes to the beach and Shep's trying to hold her hand and she won't hold his hand. Good for her. And then Austin runs up and is hugging her and Craig's like, pussy. He's such a pussy, that guy.
So then Austin's like saying hi. Well, by the way, not a pussy to be gracious and kind to a person at your dinner, right?
He's done nothing to you, Craig. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
I think Craig's projecting a little bit on women who aren't really interested in the men that they're with. Because yikes, he's taking this a little personally. For somebody who spent the last season being like, we're not speaking with Shep anymore, he's too much of a mess, and after BravoCon he's disgusting, I'm never talking to him again, well into this season he's sure switched to where he's like, oh, all I really care about is Shep's well-being. Okay.
But Craig also, like, he spends a lot of time constructing images of himself, which he talks about later this episode. You know, like, right now he is building the image of himself as like a Martha Stewart of the South, a man Martha Stewart. And previously he's constructed the image of him being a lawyer, etc. And I think that he is particularly triggered by I don't know if it's women or just people in general who threaten to pierce a hole into like a fragile guy's careful attempt at creating a public image for himself. So he's seeing Sienna doing that for Shep. You know, like Shep is trying to be like,
I can go with that.
You know,
with that. I think also he's got this thing this season where he's like our team versus their team, meaning like old stalwarts on the cast versus these newbies who are trying to come in, like ganging up with Madison and Austin to try and get JT kicked off. And then it's like if they're not gonna do what they want, then they're like, they can't be part of this cast. But this lady doesn't want to be part of your cast, you weirdo. Yeah. She's trying to get the fuck out of here. Okay, just let her go.
Yeah, you know, for as much as, you know, it's so funny because the trailers for this season showed that scene of Madison and Patricia sitting in the bed being like, gold digger. And the truth is, Sienna has tried desperately to get away from Shep. Like she's like, what's the opposite of gold digger? Like gold fill in the holer. Like she's putting dirt on the gold. She's like, I'm not digging for this gold. I am
She's
burying
like, cover the
gold.
cave, cover the cave.
Gold barrier.
Reverse explosion. Cover it back up.
Give
gold
me plastic.
Is toxic. Yeah, and she did a video this week after the last episode where Shep didn't get his way with her. So, of course, he insinuated that she's just a gold-digging slut because she asked him to buy her a $10 million house. And so now that he can't afford it, that's why she doesn't like him, right? That's what he insinuated last week.
Right.
And she went on and she's like, we were on a boat. We saw a $10 million house. And I said, that house is beautiful. I would love to have a house like that one day. She didn't ask him to buy her the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid Shep.
Ridiculous.
And then I learned how to put on eyebrow makeup because that's how Sienna does her movie. She's like, well, and then we were on a boat and we saw a house. And then, you know, it's really funny thing about houses. If you really think about it, it takes 20 minutes for her to say one fucking thing. But girl, I can do my eyebrows now. So thanks.
Yeah. Not everyone can be as succinct as we are. You know,
during hour 18 of this podcast.
So Craig is being a total dick. He's like, I don't want to say hi. Because I think in his mind, he's thinking I'm enabling a situation. That's what he's claiming. But I think he's just being a dick. Like, it's someone at your table. Like, you should just be so gracious enough to say hello, especially because you're supposed to have Southern charm and you should be chivalrous to a lady. So Craig's like, my version of friendship is being honest and tough love, and Austin being an enabler to Shep is like not being a good friend. Yeah, I don't know if Craig always loves getting that honesty and tough love coming back to him, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's just tough love. Okay, Craig, anybody who criticizes you is completely ousted and not spoken to for years at a time. Please, with your tough love. So then they're trying to, have nice talk with, some of them are trying to make nice with Sienna, right? So Madison's like, so what'd you do today? And she's like, it was very boring. What did you guys do? She's like, oh, well, we had fun. It was so beautiful. We got to swim. We talked about corn. So that was good. And Rodrigo's like, wow, I love this time of the night where everyone's acting. Sally's like, normal? And he goes, normal? Honestly, this is where everyone's their fakest.
And then a conch salad arrives. So then everyone's eating. God, the last thing I need to see is Austin eating a conch salad. I'm just imagining like conch just like spitting out in all directions.
Shep too.
It's like
when it gets to Shep, he's got like full on white liquid all over his mouth while he talks and spits everywhere.
He's like, yeah, it's a really nice night without little bitch ass here. He's like, it's a lovely night. And Molly's like, ha ha ha, I don't know what I'm laughing at. I just feel like I have to laugh. Ha ha. And Molly's like, you're talking about JT. JT. Where is JT? In hell. Seriously.
And Venita's like, the only thing I'm concerned about right now is JT. Like, is he on a plane? Did he make it to the airport? Like, how's his blood sugar? Like, is he eating okay? What's he drinking? How's he feeling? Those are the things I'm concerned about. Fuck this dinner.
So Ryan's like, Sienna, me, Shep, Taylor, and Molly. Hey, Sienna. Oh, God. Let me start over. Hey, Sienna. Me, Shep, Taylor, and Molly went snorkeling today. So she's like, oh, well, there's sharks out there, right? And because like that was his biggest fear. And he's like, you're lucky to be alive. And he's like, I could have died. So Shep is like, speaking of sharks, Craig, the necklace, look, Megalodon tooth sighting, 3 p.m. That's her chest.
And she's like, yeah, he got me a megalodon tooth, guys. And Craig's like, he was very excited to give you that. Wow, that's really nice. Wow, what a necklace. And Molly's like, yeah, that's all he's been talking about the whole trip. So,
So
Madison's like, oh, wait a minute, Taylor, you have that necklace, right? Didn't he give that to you? She goes, yeah, you gave us the same necklace. He's like, no, yours was a shark. Yours was just a regular shark. Hers is a megalodon.
The way they are all so undermining him is hilarious. And Whitney's like, oh, he stays original on what he gives out to girls. She's like, it's a Charleston classic. And then Sienna's like, I think it's a Shep classic. And then everyone just like laughs. And Shep is like, gosh, I put a lot of thought into that Megalodon necklace.
Is he part of like a Shark Tooth of the Month club? Where he's just got an excess of shark teeth that he needs to give away to people? I mean, Jesus Christ.
He said his friend is designs shark tooth necklaces. That's why he has them.
Wow. So Madison...
Tell me you're like a rich white guy in Charleston without telling me you're a rich white guy in Charleston. You're just like, oh, my friend, I just hang out with a guy who makes shark tooth necklaces all day.
So Madison's still trying to pump Sienna for info. She's like, so how's he doing? Because he was very emotional. Are you doing okay? How are you doing? You doing okay? I mean, Shep's not used to having emotions, so they'd probably vomited all over your face. You want me to wipe some emotional vomit off of your face? She's like, I'm okay. It's just, I told him that we should like take a step back, because, I think Shep needs someone to be in the passenger seat of his life. And I'm just like, could you hold this mirror? I'm just not really in the passenger seat of someone's life. Are you doing your eyebrows right here at the table? Could you speed this up? This is an hour-long show.
Oh, I don't even have a car. I'm kidding. Of course I have a car. I was making reference to the passenger seat thing. Oh gosh. Oh, God, I just feel bad. Could you imagine there's someone you're not that even interested in, and then you get sort of like roped into going to this dinner, and then all their friends are telling you how that person has been emotional and thinking about giving you a gift for like a week, and you're just like, you have to just receive all this information. You're like, I don't like this person. What do you want me to say? What do you people want me to say? I don't even want to be here. I don't know you people. I have friends on this island. You are the ones who are the interlopers here.
Yeah, see, and notice what he does here, too, when he says, I don't even have a car. Just kidding. Because passenger seat, I do have a car, but it's just a Buick. Probably not something exciting for someone like you who wants a $10 million house, which is why you're dumping me in front of all my friends, right?
Yeah, I'm just a humble boy standing in front of a girl, asking her to enjoy a megalodon tooth. So Whitney's like,
Whitney's like, well, by the way, Whitney has been told that he got dumped because when he came, he's like, so how'd it go, Shep? And Shep's like, she dumped me. So Whitney already knows this, right? So Whitney goes, I have a question. Do you see yourself in 3 years being married and settling down, like living jointly between Charleston, Nassau, or like even getting your own place somewhere? And Shep's like, Whitney, and she's like, to get to that place, we'd need to define the relationship, which we never did, and kind of go through those steps. So,
and Shep is like, that's such a new age thing. and when he's like, well, I'm such a busy buddy, but like, how would you define your relationship as it is right now? Hold on, I got my mother on the phone to listen in. Mother, listen. And so
she's like blow drying her hair. She's like, as it is now. I mean, I would say we're not really in a relationship right now, and everyone gives a look like, oh geez, and he goes, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Cry my Slavici?
Yes, actually, I would like to see that. So I was like, no, don't cry, because I'll cry if you cry. Damn. Just kidding. I won't cry at all. He's like, oh God, I'll cry. Shep, you haven't smiled at all in the last 2 days. Oh God, go 48 hours without smiling. What a sin.
Show us those woodly woods. And Shep's like, that's not true. And he's like, yeah, you've been so stressed out. I would call it melancholy.
Megalodon collie. Well, sometimes when I get sad, I think, at least you're not extinct like a megalodon.
Yeah, you stressed him so much that he blacked out and he slept on the beach. And she's like, ew. She just gives us look like gross. And he's like,
by the way, that's such a cock block move also. God. Okay,
yeah.
Go on.
So he's like, old habits die hard, friend. And Austin's mouthing, what the fuck is wrong with you, Greg? And he's like, a lot. He's like, well, yeah, you know what? Shep's allowed to get drunk, because he's sad. He's allowed to fall asleep on the fucking beach if he wants to. I mean, he's a grown man. If you ask Greg, he's like a 45-year-old drunk. Well, according to you, last reunion, he was also a 45-year-old drunk, which is why you didn't talk to him between last season and this season. Am I the only person remembering this show? These people are on this show.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, all of this is correct. It could be all of the above. He can be a 45-year-old drunk, and he can also be an adult who decides, like, this is what he's going to do. So there's all that.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So Craig's like, you were the worst version of yourself the last 2 days. I mean, it's like, show me that smile again. Don't waste another minute on your crying.
That's not very nice to say, especially to the tune of family tunes, family ties. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of nice moments together. You're making it sound like it's all Meredith Baxter Burney and no Alex Keaton.
I was singing Growing Pains, and the fact that you didn't know that shows that you're not a true friend. Gosh, I can't keep it. If it's past Macbeth, I don't know. Was Joanna Kearns in Macbeth? Because if she wasn't, I don't know.
So he's like, well, you want to date? Did you tell her you want to date her and be exclusive? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to Cuba tomorrow. I prefer communism. And he's like, and what did you say, Sienna? And she's like, well, that might have just been a little too late, right, Sienna? Because we were in love until the 5 minutes right before this dinner when you laid all that stuff on me.
And Venita's like, Sienna, you don't want to be with them right now, or you don't want to be with them ever. Or could it be that it's just something that you could be worked on? Oh, it's not a bad question to ask. It's not a bad question. Good question, Venita.
Because of course Venita's there for the so you're saying he's still got a chance, right? Yeah, right. So he's still got a chance. Like, no, and there's not a chance for you either, Venita. Calm your desperate ass down too.
But the fact that they're all having this conversation about Sienna right in front of Sienna is so wild, and I kind of feel like insulting. And so Austin's like, "Well, why did you tell Shep that you loved him when you just like, then you just like backed off twice?" It's like, by the way, people are allowed to say like, "I love you," and then then discover, oh, this is not the person that I thought they were. I don't think I love them. People are allowed to change their minds in life. It's not a commitment.
We also don't know that she said "I love you." I have not heard any confirmation that she said that, and I have heard confirmation that Shep is twisting everything that comes out of this girl's mouth, if not outright lying. So I don't know that I even believe that in the first place. So Shep's like, guys, please don't grill her too bad. But he's got a big smile on his face, right? Because this is like his revenge. He's like, all right, you don't want me? Then you're subject to my friends. Have fun.
Yeah, and so Sally's like, well, this is fun. And Sienna's like, nothing. I just said this is fun. And Whitney's just like laughing. And then Rodrigo's like, this is sad. I mean, he just got played for a fool in front of everyone. And I'm like, Sienna, it's time to leave. Like, I just think it's so rude that they're like, ugh, why is Sienna still here? I mean, it's like, she came as a guest to Shep because he basically begged her to, and now you're gonna be mad at her. Like, just treat her with some dignity. She's not on your show, really. They are so mean to her, and Shep finally is like, he rescues her basically. And she doesn't need rescuing; she could leave herself. But like, she's being polite. I think she is giving them way more grace than they deserve. So he basically takes her for a walk away from the table, and he's like, sorry, Garsh, everyone's been Garsh drinking all day. She's like, yeah, it's okay. As long as you're okay. He's like, no, I'm uncomfortable, but I don't like to be talked about this way. And I don't like what you're going through. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to go. Bye.
Yeah. Because he's basically like, this isn't great. So go. She's like, yeah, I just wanted to address the problem. I wanted to save it after the trip, but you insisted that we sit down and talk about it. Which, again, is Shep just refusing to listen to anything that she has to say and then being shocked when he doesn't get the answers that he's demanding, So then back at the table, Austin and Craig are talking about it. And he's like, yeah, Craig is just sitting here being like, well, say something. I'm like, I just don't want to shit down her throat, Craig. And he's like, yeah, but every second she's here, she gives him false hope every second. No, she doesn't.
No,
she has given him zero hope.
He gives himself false hope, okay? Craig, Mr. Enlightened, who's been talking with therapy speech all season long, suddenly has forgotten the thing that we are the ones who are in control of our own emotions, and no one makes us do anything. And this is such a backwards, asinine thing that shows Craig's true colors that it makes me annoyed.
So Shep walks off with Sienna, and he's like, I just wanted to come here and us be madly in love. Well, you know what? I wanted a 10-inch dick and $5 million, but guess what? The world had other plans.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I guess we just missed it by a little window. And he puts out his fingers, like, there's a little window, like I just missed my window. It's like, I'm pretty sure it was a pretty big window that you missed it by. I don't think it was this was not a near miss. This was no, it was a fail. It was a big fail.
So it's like, she's running for cover. That's how I see it. She knows the truth. She loves me. She just doesn't want to say it. And he's like, I just don't want you to be on the firing line for an hour and a half. And she's like, yeah, I guess I should leave then, right? And he's like, yeah, I guess that's best. But it's not an indication of what I want to have happen, right? You understand that, right? She's like, nope, I got it. Are you taking the Megalodon necklace with you, Garge?
I have to say, Andy Cohen is going to just have a field day with this. I cannot wait for Andy Cohen. Will not be able to control his glee while he grills Shep about this whole situation. It's going to be amazing. So Austin goes up to Shep, and he's like, "She's going to leave." Okay, yeah, she's going to go. Well, I'm sorry you're dealing with It's very raw. We were in love. We were almost in love by a small window. Gosh.
So, oh gosh. So now everybody's like, this is the worst dinner ever. And so they move over to the couches in the fire pit thingy. And they play fireworks come up, which I have a feeling Shep paid for it to get his big romantic
Yeah,
night.
I think so.
Oh,
there's no
it's
reason.
just so
There's
sad.
no reason for fireworks. They're just eating a conch salad. Like, and now to celebrate the arrival of bread, fireworks.
Well, hey, in my life, that works, but not here.
That's true.
So he's like, wow, Sienna, I thought that even though I guess we didn't define it, but God, I hate that. It's so millennial having to define things. And then she just kind of looks away like he farted again. And he's like, wait, are you a millennial? She's probably a Gen Zer, you fucking tool, but that doesn't
I
make it
know.
any better.
And she's just like, I don't know what I am. At this point, she's just like, I want to say as few words as possible so I can get out of this situation. And he's like, at my age, I know you don't find this that often. I'm sorry you don't. You just have to honor it and give it a chance. And it's like, please stop. Just let her go. And she's like, so I'm going to go. Is it rude for me to leave and not say bye to everyone? I'm like, please don't say bye to them. They're monsters. You deserve better. He's like, no.
I wish that she had, though. I wish she had been able to just go over and say, okay, guys, well, it was really nice to meet you. Have a good night. And then leave. It sucks that he's like, he didn't get his way, so he's just going to usher her out the back door, Like, see ya.
Yeah. So now Austin's giving everyone shots over by the sofas, and Austin's like, well, I feel bad for this whole thing. And Chris like, you feel bad for her, but she's a girl. He's like, no, I just feel bad that the guy's heart's broken, dude. That's it. And so then Shep and Sienna are still hugging goodbye. This is a very long goodbye process.
Yeah, truly. So they're hugging by, and she's like, don't hate me, Shep, okay? And he's like, oh, I love the smell of you. Ew. What part of no don't you understand? Go away. How do you even have smelling senses left?
How could I ever hate? How could I ever hate you? Because I love you. Okay, you're sounding like an 80s song. Come on, let her go. Let her go.
Oh my God.
So then Craig is like, he's not a fucking idiot. Okay, he's 44 years old. Okay, we read the text. She could not be more clear that she doesn't fucking like him. So, we know that, Craig. And then she's got to go away. God.
And by this time, we can see that Craig is just drunk. He's red faced, and you know what happens when Craig gets that way. I'm surprised he didn't pull out a wad of cash and just start throwing at everybody, going, "I'm too rich for this." So Craig's in that
seriously.
mode. Yeah, he's in just belligerent drunk mode. So he's just being a dick. Oh, he's over. It's overkill. Like even for him, it's overkill. So Austin's like, we know that, read the room. So he's like, oh my God. And by the way, this has got to be fucking awful for Taylor. Taylor, is this like a meat grinder for you to watch him fight for a girl when he never even fought for you? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this guy?
What a monster. And she's like, honestly, not at all. I mean, this is like the best gift that Taylor could have received, right? Watching the guy who broke her heart just humiliate himself on TV. And so Craig's like, no, I'm just saying it would drive me fucking nuts, Taylor's like, well, last year I was not in a good place. So like, that's not me, but it's not my circus, not my clowns, not my peanuts, not my elephants, not my acrobats. Okay, all right, we get it, Taylor. She's like, to be completely honest, I feel bad for him, but I'm sorry. You're doing it to yourself. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
So she's like, yeah, at this age, you should be very confident in who you are and confident in your life, and you're not, and it's pathetic. And I would just like to say, bullshit. No, you shouldn't. As someone who's older than this, be careful what you say until you're that age, because you always think that you're going to have it together and have a certain amount of confidence at a certain age. Don't count on it, sister.
But I'm allowing it from Taylor because I feel like, you know what? Let her take a victory lap. I think she gets so few of them. I'm going to let her do it. I'm going to give it to her. But yeah, you'll never really be truly confident in who you are. I think that's what life is about. It's just navigating that. So Austin is like,
the minute you're confident in who you are, trust me, life will come around and it will pull the rug out from under you. You won't be so sure anymore. So watch your overconfidence there, lady. So Austin now Shep comes back to the table and he's doing alone. The whole, poor me, I guess I'll just eat dinner alone. What is that lobster? Lobster shell spewing everywhere while everyone watches him talks about how pathetic he is.
Molly's like, is he eating alone? Is he crying into his peas and rice? Samantha's like, well, seeing Shep heartbroken is a little sad. And by sad, I mean hilarious. But, I think he knows now he knows what it feels like to get his heart broken. And sometimes that's a lesson that we all need to be taught, especially if you're a beta. So Venita goes in to console him and everything. And
he's like, she's Venita, like, she was just in the firing line. I just feel terrible. And she's like, well, we're your friend first and Team Shep first before her. And he's like, yeah, you know what this reminds me of? Oh my gosh. This reminds me of Romeo and Juliet, where Juliet was just standing on the balcony and Romeo started shooting her with a BB gun. And then all of Juliet's friends came out and started throwing glass bottles at his head. God, I love that show.
So then Craig, meanwhile, is like, he ruined a dinner by inviting a fake girlfriend, which I told him not to fucking do. I don't think he ruined the dinner at all. You guys were the ones being rude. You guys could have acted like normal people and had a fun time and laughed and joked with her, but instead you just
I was going to say, you ruined the dinner. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So Venita's like telling Shep, like, look, she didn't give you what you want, and she was giving you what you're used to doing to other women, by the way. Just kind of like shade you to here a little bit. And it's like, it's sad because, you're coming off a long-term, she's saying it's sad because he just came out of that relationship with Taylor where he knows he messed up and now he's like trying to like fix, like, and he finally opened his heart again, and this is what happened. I'm like, did he ever open his heart in the first place to either of these women? I'm not sure about that.
No, he's faking it. So he's like, I'm just here to be real. I'm here to be raw. I'm here to let people know how I feel. And guess what? You're gonna hear it.
By the way, who are you? Venita, I've been on your show for a few years.
Is this Craig's stand-in? Thanks so much, Craig, for everything you've done.
Well, as Bob Marley Shakespeare once said, true friends are like stars. They're only evident when it's dark, and y'all are here. Thank you for being a star, whoever you are. Now, can I get a coffee, please?
Then he like stumbles over to the bar and the bartender's like, hey, how's your night? Fucking terrible. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so you know that girl, Sienna? She's Miss Bahamas, right? Yeah, score, right? Am I right? Well, yeah, I've been seeing her for a few months. Why wouldn't I be? I'm handsome. I'm young. Well, when something's cool and you're like, what happened? Why? Well, that's what kind of happened right now. I mean, I opened the van. I grabbed her by the wrist. I had her. And then somehow she got the nerve to roll her blade off. Damn it.
I mean, all I did is I walked up to her and I said, could you be loved? And I said, we could have one love. Next thing you know, she's making an exodus and I'm just trying to have my redemption song. It's just really hard, but I don't want to wait in vain.
So
here we are now, just three little birds having a cocktail. Am I right, guys?
The bartender's like, show me that smile again.
Bob Marley wrote that song. Pretty sure it was Alan Thicke. It's Bob Marley.
So back to the cast on the couches. Craig's like, I told you guys all of this stuff would happen. I said if you invite her to dinner, it's going to fuck the whole dinner up.
This is Craig's favorite thing to do. I told you so. At some point, he's got to learn that no one fucking cares if you said it first. No one cares anymore, okay? You're not 7 years old. I said it would happen. Oh, unless you're on a podcast. We're allowed to say this. But you're not allowed to say this to your friends.
Yeah, he's just such an asshole. He is so hard to take right now. So he's like, Austin, I know you love me. He goes, yeah. And he goes, but do you have a hard time not hating me? And Austin just cracks up and he's like, yeah. Sometimes, sure. And he's like, because sometimes when I look at your face, when I do shit, I was like, he fucking hates me. I was like, wow, you should see mine.
Yeah, it's the same, Craig. Like, I had the same thought about you, Craig. I'm like, this motherfucker hates me. All right, well, you know what? You guys have a genuine friendship. And I just think that they just need to clear the air and really want to, like, I think they just need to mend this, okay? They just need to kiss and make up, all right?
They're sisters. They're sisters for life.
My favorite thing Madison said about them. They're sisters. So Craig's like, hey, what do I do that drives you so fucking mad? And he's like, well, you take one thing and then like, you just gotta like, you turn it.
Exaggerate.
Yeah, you're an embellisher. And you know this, Craig. You're an embellisher, okay? And you want to put yourself in the best light possible.
I'm a lawyer and a storyteller.
I died. What an idiot. And they all start cracking up. And he's like, I think that my self-improvement, like you take it personally. What are you talking about? You're still sitting here the same belligerent drunk you've always been. Nothing has changed about you. You're still the same compulsively lying, belligerent drunk. There's nothing has changed about you, Craig. Sorry. You're trying to sell it just like Shep is. Not buying.
And I love that Austin was like, oh my God, Craig, like I will gag myself if you go down this road. Like, don't do this. It's not your self-improvement. I'm over it. It's insane right now. Craig's like, why? Wait, you're just going to walk away? I told you all that he would just walk away. I fucking told you all. And he's like, I'm over it, Craig. So Matt's like, what the heck? Betas are fun. Craig's like, okay, I'm going to follow you now. Austin, finish the conversation because I'm a storyteller. I need to tell my stories.
So now Venita has got a text and she kind of shows it to Sally, but then hides it. And she's like, oh my God, like seriously, are those all from JT? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, I can't stray away from what I just saw on your phone. I mean, just paragraphs. That means he really likes you. I mean, that shit goes on and on. That means the guy really likes you. I mean, he has feelings for you more than a friend. No? And Venita nods. She's like, yes. Yes, he does. Okay, so here we get to the Venita section. Now, we talked about this on Crappy Hour, so anybody who wants to hear this more in length, just go listen to that episode. So Venita came out with an Instagram after the last episode telling us that the scene of Branzino dinner with What's-His-Buns was filmed after this trip. So she's saying the editors are trying to make her look like some home-wrecking, floozy, and she's not going to stand by that because that scene was shot after. So that left me with some questions like, well, but then he just told you on this trip, I have a girlfriend, get off of me twice, and you still made that Branzino dinner for him. So that was one kind of confusing thing for me. So now she says, so after last night, I for sure know that the feelings I have for JT also has for me, like 100%. And there's no question, there's no doubting. So I was like, wow, he likes me. Like he likes me. So JT, I'm sorry, but if JT has a girlfriend in this moment, I feel sorry for the girl on the other side because he's spending all this time talking and texting me and he's giving you crumbs. So why are you coming out with a story with an Instagram thing saying they're just editing you to make you look like a homewrecker? He has a girlfriend and you're still going for JT. Now, does that let him off the hook for still texting her paragraphs and paragraphs when he knows how she feels? No. JT's a dog and a piece of crap. But I just don't get the whole Venita thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm with Sally, who says, if I get paragraphs like that from a man, I'm like immediately no. I think that sums it all up.
You're just like, keep it simple. It's just too many texts. He's ick to begin with. So that's all the thought you need to put into it.
So Craig and Austin are now, they've moved over to an area to have their bro talk. And Craig's like, hey, don't get fucking fired up. Even though Craig stoked the flames as usual. And I was like, I'm not. Let's just fucking sit down, dude. It's like, all right, you're fired up. You're crazy. So he's like, listen, you're one of my best friends. I was never trying to do stuff to like better myself to get away from other people. I just wanted to get away from other people to make myself better. And I didn't know that it would ever change like the level of our friendship, me like not hanging out when you try to call to hang out, or like me ditching you so I can plant things. I didn't think that would actually affect our friendship. And I want to go back to a place of love.
Greg, I mean, if we're honest, okay, all you care about is like this like little story that you're like building for yourself and your reputation, this wonderful image. He's like, an image? He goes, yeah, like you're disappointed in disappointing someone and being like, oh, they can't see me with the beer in my hand or something. And he's like, but do you think I project an image that isn't me? Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, because we've seen you.
And he's like,
we've
yes,
watched
I
you for
do.
10 years.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you have an image to protect. And he's like, just loosen up the reins. And he's like, yeah, but I do that because I don't have any leash on myself. That's any addict. And then Craig lays the storyline on him. He's like, I was like, trying not to be an alcoholic is now affecting my friendship with Austin. So they start crying.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's where I was coming from. Like, I have tears in my eyes because it's real. I was like in the trenches by myself. And like, you were like, oh, wow, you're never with me anymore. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking, like, I can't. I gotta stay on my couch. I gotta stay on my couch or I'm going to pick up a bottle of Jaeger and do dumb shit. He's like, fuck, bro. The word addict, you never used that with me, bro. It's like, yeah, no, I never said out loud until Shep. He's the one that we need to be angry at.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, look at Shep walk. He ends up on the beach, I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just lucky, I'm lucky I got out of it. You're drunk.
Yeah, you're drunk right now, by the way.
You're drunk right now. Oh my God. Now, that said, I mean, in the beginning of the season, when this whole argument with Austin happened, I'm Team Craig because it is hard when you quit doing stuff and you have to like try and maintain relationships with your friend group and they're not supportive and they're like, why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you doing Coke? Why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you doing Coke? You want some Coke? Are you sure you don't want to drink? I get that. I've lived it. It's hard. So I'm Team Craig for that. But Craig still acts like a little asshole beyond that. And so the whole like addict thing while he's currently drunk is just a little uncomfortable for me. But I think in general, I'm still Team Craig as far as that argument goes.
So Austin's like, well, I should have known, man. Like, with the Adderall thing, like that's like, I knew you were struggling and stuff. And we see, Craig's greatest Adderall hits. And then he's like, I'm sorry for not understanding what you were going through. And like, you and Paige, strong as hell. And like you're fine with the long distance, and that's clearly a forever couple. So like you're not like sitting in your house just being like like alone battling or no, right? It's like, yeah, she was right with me this entire time. There's a reason that me and Paige are so close. I just can't imagine being closer to someone. Like, I'm so lucky that she chose to be like, I see someone there and she helped me beat this demon. And then we see evidence of that, which is basically her trying to maintain her sanity in Winter House while Craig is spiraling out of control. And she's like, maybe stop talking. Thanks.
Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, maybe that's why the image that you were thinking I was trying to portray, but that is what I was trying to do. I'm not trying to convince other people. I'm actually trying to like become that. So it was nice. This conversation was actually kind of nice, even though my cynicism, half of me is still screaming, shut up, Craig, because he's acted like such a fucking asshole the past few weeks. But
it was a nice. I actually thought it was a nice conversation too. You're not alone. I actually thought as much bullshit as these two guys spew, they did actually have some moments that felt introspective and insightful. And
yeah.
It wasn't all bullshit. It wasn't all self-serving bullshit. There was like real shit in there. So they basically are like, they're like connecting now. And so Austin's saying that Craig's addiction doesn't, I like this. When he said Craig's addiction doesn't excuse him from being an asshole. It doesn't excuse him from being an angry fucking person. It doesn't excuse a lot of things, but it is a starting point. It's sort of like, yeah, I think that's a good thing, which it's like, yeah, it doesn't excuse all this stuff that happened, but it does mean that I can be a bit more compassionate to him.
Yeah. So they hug and they say they love each other and all of that good stuff. And
he's like, wow, it's just so freeing to be transparent, like if we could have had this conversation sooner, it would have saved us heartache.
So they agree to find new quality time together. And doesn't this feel like the end episode of the season? There was a part where I was like, wait a minute, we just announced we're doing Southern Charm in Minneapolis and I think it's over. So we should find something else.
They'll probably because now they've got to make a Shep and Molly storyline go.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
God help
you
us.
Just wait.
Well, how's he
I think they'll probably have
two
more episodes. They'll have 2 more episodes left, I think. So, and then the reunion for 5 weeks. So now everyone sees the guys hugging and they're like, oh, betas. And now it's the next morning.
They have they're leaving, and so Craig has paid for, which he's sure to let everybody know.
I paid for flamingos because I was like, yeah, they offer that, so I paid for it because I'm not poor.
To be fair, I thought it was Spanish dancing lessons, but I guess flamingos and flamencos are 2 different things.
He just goes down there and starts stomping in rhythm around the room. So they're down there playing with flamingos at breakfast, and Madison's like,
those fucking things are scary. I mean, those things are like Austin without Dockers.
I love the flamingos. They're just like little supermodels walking through breakfast, being snooty and being like, what are you guys doing here in my suite?
And they're so trained too, because you know, they have the people that are bringing them or whatever. They're tamed, I guess I should say. So they're working the room, you know, they're like, okay, here we are. And just walking up to people like,
Shrimp.
just staring at them like,
Yep, shrimp.
all right, well,
Do you have shrimp?
don't say I didn't do my
Shrimp.
job.
You have shrimp? No shrimp? You have shrimp? They're kind of like bird escorts, you know? They're like, hey, looking for a good time. It's basically flamingo Anora, you know? It's like the Anora version of flamingo, or the flamingo version of Anoras. Goes either way. So I was more amused by those flamingos than I thought I would be. And I was like, if I ever go there, I'm going to pay for the flamingos at breakfast.
They might as well just be new cast members for the amount we get from some of the new cast members. They're working it harder, you know? So then Shep has food all over his face, of course, at breakfast. And he's like, I'm going to Cuba. Fuck this place. They don't require napkins at breakfast. Stop trying to wipe my face.
Yeah. And then Shep is like, yeah, I'm ready to get the hell out of this country. And Ryan's like, Shep, how are you feeling after last night, man? Can you believe we almost got eaten by a shark? Well, I feel free. You know what I mean? Feel very free. He's like, that's good. I'm glad you feel free. I'm going to have nightmares for 3 years. Yeah, there are more cons looking back than I remembered in the moment. Now that I think about it, she never really did say I love you. We only did go on one date. I only learned what her name was 2 weeks ago. Huh, funny what hindsight can give you.
What an insane circumstance that I went through, but it's sure good to have my good old friends. I had a lot of laughter, a lot of emotions, but laughter and laughter, cheers and cheers, Shakespeare reference after Shakespeare reference, which I totally get because I've read them all.
Wait, I'm Rodrigo. I'm going to close out the episode. I wouldn't travel internationally to watch anyone else get broken up with. Ha 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 ha. And we have the circle that comes in on his face and then closes up.
And that brings us to the end of Southern Charm, everybody. Next recap will be live next week in Minneapolis, so come see us over there. Also, Cincinnati and Toronto. Get your tickets at watchwhatcrappens.com. We're also about to go record the Traders season finale for Patreon. So if you want to hear that stuff, go over to Patreon. And remember, if you're a new sign up online, not through the Apple app. You can still use the Apple app after you've signed up, but sign up not through that greedy little app. We sure love you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster. It's always automatic with Ashley Auto.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Put your hands together for Carly Clapp. Catherine DiBernardo has our hearto.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offutt. Dana C. Dana Do. She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Etchels.
We never miss her call. It's Diane Call.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey. You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones. I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Hava Nagila Weber.
We could all learn from Jennifer Kearns.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Knock, knock, knocking on Katie Manock's door. She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Rigging the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets an A from us, it's Lindsay D. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry.
We love her on the rocks, it's Melissa Cox. Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson. Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
She sure is swell, it's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. Let's share with Sharon Eldridge. The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD. She's got a leg up, it's Beth Ani.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
It's our queen, it's Queen Laifa.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
She gets an A, it's Kelly B.
We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley. We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron. She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy. Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters. She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.